Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Tyler Herro's firm Andrew Wiggins' stance after blockbuster Heat trade. Recently, the Jimmy Butler trade saga came to a conclusion when the Miami Heat dealt their disgruntled star to the Golden State Warriors for a package centered around Andrew Wiggins and draft compensation. The Heat are still waiting for Wiggins to make his team debut, but the players have to be relieved to be out from under the Butler-sized cloud that was hanging over the franchise this season. Recently, newly minted All-Star guard Tyler Herro spoke on what Wiggins will bring to the team. Wiggs is a basketball player, a champion, played at the highest level on multiple different teams. He knows how to play, said Herro, per Zachary Weinberger of Clutch Points. We'll get him comfortable. As Tyler Herro alluded to, Andrew Wiggins has indeed played basketball at the highest level, helping the Golden State Warriors win the 2022 NBA championship with a great performance in the finals, locking up Boston Celtics star Jason Tatum on one end of the court while providing an immense offensive boost on the other. The last 2 years have been marred by injuries, personal absences, and a drop-off in on-court production for Wiggins, but he has started to pick things back up in 2024-25, making him a viable candidate for the Warriors to be the centerpiece of a Butler deal. In theory, Wiggins' sold fit right in with what the Miami Heat already want to do, which is defend at a high level and slow the game down to a more half-court style of play. At 29 years old, soon to be 30, Wiggins may not be quite as bouncy as he was when he first entered the league in 2014, but he still has enough athleticism left in the tank to give the Heat a new transition element to their game that was previously missing. At the current juncture, the Heat sit with a perfectly average record of 25-25, nearly 2/3 of the way into the season. Things won't get any easier from here, as Miami's next 2 games are against the Boston Celtics and the Oklahoma City Thunder. With the trade of the Miami Heat sending Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors as a part of a multi-team deal made official, the team introduced the newest members of the team in Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell. As Wiggins spoke about the similarities between the Heat and Warriors, the other pieces in the trade spoke about fitting into the famed culture that is attached to the team. Before Wiggins, Anderson, or Mitchell took questions from the media, team president Pat Riley would have an opening statement about his new stars. He would mention that besides having a tremendous amount of sympathy for players starting a new life with Miami, the 3 players do fit the aforementioned culture that the team has had in place for years. I just want to welcome Kyle, Wiggs, and Davion to the Heat, Riley said. I know it's not easy, it's not at all. I have a tremendous amount of compassion and empathy. For people who have to move around, I moved around 4 or 5 times in my short career. It's not easy. I just want to make it very comfortable for them. Whatever they need right now in this transition with themselves and their family and stuff. They are now officially part of what we do believe in, which is our culture here with the Heat. And we believe they are perfect players to be part of that. I think they'll show it. So, welcome guys. Pat Riley introducing Andrew Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, and Kyle Anderson to the Heat. I'm a little tired from last night's gala. I did actually 3 hours on the dance floor. I just want to welcome Kyle, Wiggs, and Davion. I know it's not easy, moving around. Anderson originally was to be dealt to the Toronto Raptors from Miami according to ESPN's Shams Charania, but it would fall through. Now that he's with the team, the veteran brings his experience and basketball intelligence to the Heat as he's noticed in the past how hard they play compared to other teams while providing an anecdote. I think my first impression and what I've heard and seen over the past, aligned up pretty well, Anderson said. Every time we, Warriors, play the Heat, when I'm on another team, guys are playing hard, they bring it every time. I think we, Warriors, played them. They were on the second half of the back-to-back after playing SAC, Kings, and they came into Golden State and hooped our ass. Just like, these guys played tough, they play hard. You could hear the coaches communicating from the bench all game like their bench is engaged. So you could kind of see what's going on. And I'm just excited to be a part of it now. Kyle Anderson on his impressions of Heat culture. It's aligned up pretty well. Every time we, Warriors, played the Heat, guys are playing hard. They were on the second half of a back-to-back after playing SAC and they came into GS and hooped our ass. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown on Celtics injury report versus Heat. The Boston Celtics have injury statuses on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to keep track of. Heading into their contest against the Miami Heat on Monday, the Celtics have done well in their last 10 games by going 7-3. However, Boston released their injury report ahead of Monday's encounter. It shows Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, and Torrey Craig as the players dealing with injuries. Tatum has right patella tendinopathy and Brown is dealing with right knee swelling. Holiday is nursing a right shoulder impingement, and Craig completes the report as he is reconditioning from a right ankle injury. The Boston Celtics dominated in their last game against the New York Knicks on Saturday, which Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown took part in. Tatum dominated with a marvelous display against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. He finished with a stat line of 40 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He shot 13 of 26 from the field and 7 of 14 from beyond the arc. Brown did not have a standout performance, scoring 12 points on 5 of 14 shooting overall. However, he was involved in other areas by having 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block throughout the night. Boston improved to 37-16 on the season, holding the second spot in the Eastern Conference standings. They are 5.5 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers for the top seed. NBA Insider reveals likelihood of Kevin Durant landing with the Heat this offseason. A reunion between the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns superstar Kevin Durant seemed well within the realm of possibilities before the 14-time All-Star stepped in. He reportedly spoke out against the idea of reuniting with superstar Stephen Curry in Golden State. The other top rumored suitor for Durant was the Miami Heat, and it appears he was not against their potential pursuit. NBA insiders Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst of ESPN revealed Durant was willing to going to Miami, writing, Durant, however, would have been open to playing for the Heat, sources said, so Miami debated cutting the Warriors out and dealing Butler to Phoenix for Durant, sources said. This report gives a strong indication about the likelihood that Durant ends up with the Heat this offseason. The veteran superstar is open to it, but for the Heat's front office to feel mutual interest, the Suns' asking price must be right. Windhorst and Shelburne also detailed in the article Phoenix's requested return was too much at the deadline. However, if the rest of the season is a disaster for the Suns, their willingness to part with the 36-year-old could rise. The Heat have the assets necessary to acquire Durant, but the reality is team president Pat Riley may remain unwilling to move on from much of their future. And you fan? What do you think of Kevin Durant? Leave your opinion in the comments.